Spoke to Andrew Kabuura, a sports journalist and commentator based in Kampala, Uganda, on the World Cup. I began by asking him, is Coach Aliou Cisse's decision to include an injured Sadio Mane in his squad for the World Cup good or bad for Senegal? Let's take a listen.
I think any coach in world football would be very happy to have a player like Mane in his squad. I mean, you look at Mane's statistics currently at Bayern Munich or even the 2 seasons before at Liverpool. He is the biggest name in Dakar. It's as simple as that. He's Senegal's biggest and he's produced statistics for them. You look at their recent run at the Africa Cup of Nations, then you fully understand why Mane is important. Look, the group stages at the World Cup, however much every goal and every win counts, is more of a marathon than a sprint. So you always try to make sure you get through the group stages. Now, the reports we're getting from Dakar is that Mane could be fit for the second All-Star game or the last of 16 battles in there. Mane is like a Mercedes-Benz that is not working at the moment, but you know it's just one part away from working. Do you throw it away? No, you don't. He's your biggest star. This is the World Cup. I fully support Cisse for picking him.
Mane is like a Mercedes-Benz. I like that. Well, here's my second question. Tunisia is appearing in their 5th World Cup, can you believe it? And their fans are optimistic they will progress past the knockouts. What are their chances in Qatar, Andrew? How do you see it?
I don't know. I mean, 6th World Cup for them, like you're saying, but they've only scored 13 goals in all those World Cups. Now, those are not good statistics, are they? You look at the group they're in, they have the defending champions, France, they have Australia, and they have Denmark. I think it's going to be very, very complicated for Tunisia, who, of course, are trying to ban those demons from what happened in Russia when they were beaten by both England and Belgium. But this time, they come up against Denmark, Australia, and France. And for me, I think those are 3 very tricky sides. But more interestingly, Tunisia has not been a settled side. I mean, they have, changed 4 coaches since the last World Cup. Now Jalel is the man in charge of the team. Again, lack of continuity in that Tunisian side. They have some good players from Youssef to Wabi. Of course, Youssef plays in Qatar, so you expect him to know a thing or two about the host nation. Wabi Kazri plays in France as well. I'm not sure that is going to be important in any way for Tunisia's journey. Look, I'm African. I want African teams to progress, but I'm struggling to see how Tunisia is going to make it past Denmark, Australia, and France.
Well, Andrew, I hear you with the astute and articulate breakdown. And before I let you go, I'm going to put you on the spot. If you were a betting man, which African team do you think will go the furthest in Qatar and why?
Ah, wow. There you go. Worst question I could face today, man. Look, I'm looking at 2 different teams. One is Senegal, mainly because I think Senegal will struggle against the Dutch, which is their opening game. But if they can settle and get a point off Qatar or maximum points and Ecuador, those seem to be winnable fixtures. So I'm looking at the Lions of Teranga having a big chance. But my real bet is actually the Black Stars of Ghana, which is very surprising. I mean, I've been looking at Ghana's group today and the fact that they are up against Luis Suarez and Uruguay again. We all do remember what happened at the World Cup down in South Africa. They open up against Uruguay and then they have Portugal and South Korea. Now, of course, not to underestimate South Korea, but they should try and pick points off South Korea. Portugal will be very, very complicated in there. Since making their debut back in 2006, Ghana have always looked that team that could excite the continent by making it to the next level. And look at the players they are going with. For me, one of the better rosters in terms of squads, from Tariq Lamptey, the guy who plays at Brighton, to Jeffrey Schroep, to Andre Ayew, to Jordan Ayew, to Thomas Partey from Arsenal, to Inaki Williams as well. They have a big list of players, so many professionals. If they can do well against Uruguay in their opening game, they should beat South Korea. And then whatever happens between them and Cristiano Ronaldo and Portugal might just be academical. So I'm confused, my brother. I'm thinking either Senegal or Ghana will make it to the next round. Fingers crossed.
All right, off to the betting sites we go. Andrew Kabuura, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us here on Sports Scene. We'll speak to you again soon.